mental abuse. You have experienced it. We're going to unmask it right now. Unmasking mental abuse. 1 Peter 5 and 8, be sober-minded and watchful, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walking around seeking whom he may devour. Listen, you got to understand that this mental abuse, it's been masked for a very long time, and you didn't even recognize it. But we're going to walk you through the process. Click like and subscribe. You're going to be glad you did. Number one, they are critical of you. Yes, it seems harmful, and it can happen very subtly, and it's small, but they're critical of you. They criticize the way you dress. They criticize the way you walk. They criticize your mood. But this is your friend. This is your friend. This is a family member. This is a loved one. This is someone that you thought that was in support of you and love you and care for you. They shown you so much affection. Why are they critical of you? Because they are mentally abusing you. They are aware of what's happening. They are not truly being who they say they are. They are wearing a mask. Let's unmask it. They're critical of the things that you do. They say that you're boring. You've heard things like, you're so emotional. Oh, you're so sensitive. Now, if you confront them on it and share how you feel and tell them how they made you feel, they're going to say, oh, you're just so emotional. You took that the wrong way. I didn't mean it like that. I was just joking. They use sarcasm as a tactic and a method to abuse you. I know it seems harmful, but the way you think, it affects your mood, it affects your emotions, it affects who you are every day. So as a man thinketh, so is he. Proverbs 23 and 7. This narcissistic person that's in your life, they put themselves on a pedestal, right? And they put you underneath their pedestal. And so they belittle you. They talk crazy to you. And you're highly the opposite. You are very supportive. You are very loyal. You're confused. You don't understand. It's affecting you, and it's affecting you physically. Your mental health. It is not a healthy relationship. Some people call it toxic. This is a toxic relationship. But you must understand the first thing is that it's mental abuse, emotional abuse. They are abusing you. They are manipulating you. They have been doing this for a very long time, and they do it gradually. So you must understand, when someone is always critical of you, always critical of what you do, always criticizing you, always throwing a little smart remark in there. Oh, you're going to do it like that? Oh, you switched it up like that? They're always critical sarcastically. Number two, they start pulling away the love and affection. The love and affection that they use to draw you in, they start slowly pulling it away, start starving you of this love and affection, this physical affection. A narcissistic person, we call it love bombing. They threw a big bomb of love at you. They're very narcissistic in their ways. And you don't have to accept this mental abuse any longer. They drawed you in. They got you hooked. They got you addicted to their love. They got you addicted to the touch. They got you addicted to the verbal affirmation. They got you addicted to you always receiving compliments from them. You became addicted. You're like, oh, this feels so good. It feels so wonderful. They pulled you into the pleasure trap. And then they start gradually, intentionally pulling back the love and affection and start starving you. Now, why does this narcissistic person do this? Why do they mentally abuse you? Because they want you to pursue them, to make them feel good and validate their superiority. They're using you as a toy because they feel superior. And so they got to get you to comply and to validate their superiority above you. Now, in the beginning, they put you on the pedestal, and then they took you down off of that pedestal to take the throne. They're very competitive of you. They steal your identity. They try to beat you to the punch. They try to do the things that you do. They say the things that you say and take ownership and credit of the things that you initiate, knowing that they did not initiate it, knowing that they're not the one who said that, knowing that they're not the one who made these decisions. knowing that you're the one who told them about that book, told them about that movie, told them about this vacation place, and they take credit like, oh yeah, oh, you remember that book I told you about? Huh? I read that book last month. I told you to get that book. See how harmful that seems? And it seems like nothing. You may be saying, Marquez, that's kind of over the top. That's how they do it. That's what a narcissist does. He is subtle, like the devil. Did you hear the scripture? He's like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour, walking around, may seem so innocent, just walking around in nature, just being a lion. But he's doing this so he can devour you. And the narcissistic person is mentally abusing you so he can devour you. That's why you can't think straight. So as a man thinketh, so is he. So if they get your thinking off course, then your life will be off course. They're jealous of you. That's why they're so critical of you. That's why they gave you so much affection so they can pull you in like a snake and then take you down off the pedestal. They are mentally abusing you. A double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. The trick of the enemy is to get you unstable. Because if you are unstable, then you cannot produce the harvest that you seek. If you plant a seed and you uproot that seed, how would the seed grow and flourish? How can you spiritually grow and flourish? How can you emotionally grow and flourish? How can you mentally grow and flourish if they're always back and forth with you? 1 minute, they're your best friend for life. The next minute, they distance themselves from you. Instantly, within a day, within a week, within a month, they're mentally abusing you. They're doing this on purpose. Number 3, here's another one. They stonewall you, which simply means they give you the silent treatment. Why did they do this? Because you start telling them how you felt. You say, listen, I don't like the way you're critical of me. Listen, I noticed that you've been distant. And they say, oh, I just needed some space. You seeing things. I just needed some space. You're kind of overlooking it. You're tripping right now. No, that's not what it was. I just needed some me time. I'm all right. I love you. I just needed some me time. You see how they shift the blame? But they was the one that gave you the silent treatment. Now you forgot all about the silent treatment. You forgot about how they didn't talk to you for 3 days. You forgot all about it. They took 15 hours to respond to your text. They took 24 hours to respond to your text. And when they did respond, it was very short. They ignore your words. They don't respond to the things that you say. They only reply back with their thoughts. Now think about that for a moment. That's called stonewalling. They are not emotionally engaging with you. Even though they're now back texting you, think on it. This is mental abuse, emotional abuse. They sit here and gave you the silent treatment for 3 days, maybe a week. Maybe it was only for a day. But then when they start texting you back, they start texting their thoughts. They never respond to anything that you say. It's all about them again. Narcissistic. They're trying to devour you. The enemy is using them to devour you. The jealousy and the envy in their heart. The superiority complex that's in their mind. That's why the Bible tells us, 1 Peter 5:8, to be sober-minded. To be clear in your thinking. Don't be intoxicated with somebody else. Don't be drunk on affection. Come on, you got to be sober-minded. Don't be drunk on validation. Come on, don't get drunk on reassurance. All those things has its place. Don't get drunk on affirmation, being affirmed by somebody else all the time. Don't get drunk on it. Be sober-minded. Be clear in your thinking. Don't get intoxicated with the relationship. It's time for you to identify this has been abuse the whole time. This has been mental abuse the whole time, presenting itself as love. Mental abuse oftentimes is masked as love in your life. It's masked as your best friend in your life. It's masked as your husband. It's masked as your wife. It's masked as your partner. It's masked as your business partner. Have you ever had a business partner who was truly jealous of you? They rub shoulders with you to take over the throne, to take your ideas, to steal from you, to take what you got going. They'll sit there and reach out to you and say, hey, I really like what you're doing, and I really think that I can help you out. I really think I can help grow. And the whole time you got more than them, but they approach it like you can help them, and they get inside your, I'm talking to somebody prophetically, they get inside your inner circle to steal your ideas, to steal your routine, how you operate in your business, how you operate on YouTube, how you operate on social media. They steal your posts. They take your post word for word and post it as if they said it. They could have just clicked the share button. Think about that, the energy that people put into mentally abusing you. Why would they sit there and copy your words and post it on their page as if they are the ones that said it? Why couldn't they click the share button? Because they don't want you to get the credit for your own post. Mental abuse. I want to encourage you today. You no longer have to accept the mask. You no longer have to feel defeated. You no longer have to feel bad about yourself. You no longer have to stay in this relationship. Should you stay or should you go? Well, what is the level of the abuse? Well, Marquez, that happened to me before, and I know this lady is my best friend. Here's how you know if a best friend is truly your best friend, and if they have done some of these things, maybe they've done it on a mild level, and you bring it to their attention, they don't blame you. They stop the behavior. They apologize for the behavior. That's the difference in someone mentally abusing you versus a loved one who may have made a mistake. Maybe they was in a bad mood, and maybe they was upset, about something else. Maybe your close friend was angry, they was going through something, then they criticize you as a reaction to what they was going through. And then when things calmed down, you brought it to their attention and made them aware of it, and they changed, they repented of it, and they said, you know what, I'm sorry, I'll work on it. Girl, I was going through something, and I realized now that you told me, I'll put that on you. I put it on you. I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna work on that. But a person who's mentally abusive, they'll sit there and say, you overtaking that the wrong way. You taking that the wrong way. I didn't mean that. A mental person would sit there and say, you don't support them when you are the one who's giving all the support in this one-sided relationship. They know they're not supporting you, so they'll beat you to the point and say, you know what, I don't feel supported in this relationship. That's only so you cannot confront them. It's mental abuse. They make you doubt your own reality. They make you doubt the truth you see. They don't want you to go forth. They don't want you to thrive. They don't want you to be above them because you're messing with their ego. They want you to serve their ego. That's not a friendship. That's a frenemy. That's a frenemy. A frenemy is somebody that's in your life. They don't want to be in your life. They don't have you as their best interest. They don't have you in heart as your best interest. They don't want you to thrive. They don't want you to grow. They don't want you to succeed in your goals. They're not your friend. They're your frenemy. And you don't have to stay in this frenemy relationship. Be sober-minded. Be watchful. This is why God wants us to be watchful and to pay attention. So you can discern, wait a minute, is this person truly for me or this person against me? They criticize you. Hey, what you got going on? Oh, man, I'm doing this. I'm doing my YouTube. I'm doing my ministry. I got a speaking engagement. I'm working. Oh, you sure got a lot going on, man. Ooh, I don't know how you do all that. You see, they didn't celebrate you. You got the new house. They found something critical to say about your new house. they didn't celebrate. Oh, what year this was? What year your house was built? You felt that. They didn't celebrate. You got a new car. Well, you know what? It was about time you got a new car because that old one you had, they're critical. They don't celebrate. Well, somebody may say, well, Marquez, people just want to be praised all the time. I don't have to sit there and praise people all the time. Think about this. Let's get some clarity. They say they don't have to praise you and celebrate you and validate you, but they would rather use their energy to criticize you and to pull away their affection and to give you the silent treatment. They can do those things, but they can't celebrate you, love you, and praise you, listen to you, and respond to your words. Come on now. I'm telling you today that we're unmasking this narcissistic mental abuse, and you no longer have to stay in it. If you found anything in this video that was valuable, drop in the comments right now your thoughts, your experience. Somebody else is going to see that comment and they're going to be blessed. It's like a support system. Let's support one another. Let's encourage one another. Let's help one another, because this is what this YouTube channel is all about. And that's why I had to get on today to unmask this mental abuse, so you can be free, so you can go forth and you can move forward in your life. Thank you for clicking like and subscribing. I'll catch you on the next one.